I'm going to quickly review what we went over in lesson 6. The first thing we did in lesson 6 was we looked at the picture of the Great Wave, and in our book on page 22 and 23 of Amos and Boris, we compared those pictures, how they're the same, and we contrasted those pictures, how are they different, and we answered the question, what did the two images suggest about the sea? After we did that on a Collaborate board, I stamped some key understandings. We said both of the pictures showed large waves. The waves were splashing in the picture. They did use different colors though, and the composition was a little different because in the woodblock print, the Great Wave, the wave shows that it's much bigger than the figures in the boat, while the composition of Steig's illustration shows the waves are close to the same size as Boris the Whale. Both of the images suggest that the sea is a violent and dangerous place. We're still on our same focusing question, how do artists explore the sea? Our content framing question today was, what does a deeper exploration of William Steig's word choices and illustrations reveal in Amos and Boris? So throughout the whole lesson, we looked at the pictures in the book, we reread words in the story, and we looked at how they were related. We started this off by rereading pages 22 and 23. Remember, I told you this page is really important for your land. Our key takeaways from this page is that the text suggests that the illustration shows one of the worst storms of the century, Hurricane Yetta. The text also says the storm was so big that a tidal wave flung Boris to the shore. So the waves were very big and powerful. And remember, we looked at the picture, we said what we saw in the picture, and then we reread the text and we found the text that matched the picture. Then we practiced that again by rereading the first page in Amos and Boris. After I reread that page, I asked you this question. How does William Steig's use of elements of art in the illustration on page 3 use elements of art in the illustration on page 3 to introduce the ocean? Remember that scaffold was just, what do you see in the picture? And we said that the ocean was the main part of the picture, that Amos, he looks really small compared to the ocean, and it looks like he's looking out at the ocean. So that suggests that the ocean is really important and interesting. After we looked at the picture, then we reread that page and answered the question, how does William Steig use word choices on page 3 to introduce the ocean? The scaffold I gave you was, what does it say about the ocean? And we said that the text says that Amos loved the ocean, suggests that the ocean is very special. And the text says that he loved the smell of the sea air. He loved to hear the surf sounds, the bursting breakers, the backwashes with rolling pebbles. These details explain some of the reasons why the ocean is special. Then we looked at the picture and the words on page 9. After I reread page 9, I asked you to think about what words do you notice on page 9 that are important, interesting, or confusing. Some words that you picked out and posted on our Collaborate board were phosphorescent, marveled, luminous, immense, akin, gazing, overwhelmed. And so then I gave you this word. Remember, we didn't have a place to write this word in our vocabulary journal, but I told you the word akin means similar or related in spirit. It's just a fancy word for related. Finally, on page 28, on page 28 in our response journal, we completed this chart as we looked on page 9. I did what's in blue with you. We said that the word phosphorescent means relating to light that glows softly but does not produce heat. We said Amos thinks the sea is a beautiful, almost magical place, and the illustration shows the white stars and white spouts stand out against the blue sky, and the water looks like it's glowing. Then by yourself, you were supposed to do vast. We said vast means very large. For how word choices explain Amos's feelings about the ocean, we said that Amos thinks the ocean is very big, but he also thinks it's beautiful. And then for our last column, we said that in the picture, the ocean and the sky looked really big compared to the boat. So that lets us know the word vast means very large. This is where we stopped in class. Remember, for homework, I assigned your question set. I also told you that you need to come to our Nearpod lesson and complete the rest of the slides. So I'm going to go over these slides now. Our craft framing question: how does grouping related information together work? Why do authors group related information together in a paragraph? So, writers group related information together in a paragraph to help readers locate information more easily and to show how evidence supports a topic statement. So, what you need to do now in your Nearpod is you're finding two pieces of evidence for this question. Your prompt says, how does the friendship between Amos and Boris change in the story? This writing planner is in your binder behind your response journal on page 29. The first thing you're going to do is find two pieces of evidence. Two pieces of evidence. Here are some examples of evidence you might find that proves Amos and Boris are friends. Page 13 says, holy clam and cuttlefish, I'm a mammal myself. Page 19 says, later, while Amos and Boris travel together, they become the closest possible friends. Also on page 19, it says, they tell each other about their lives, their ambitions, and share their deepest secrets with each other. And then finally on page 30, it says that they will never forget each other. Once you write your two pieces of evidence on your writing planner, then you're going to elaborate by explaining each piece of evidence. So if you said, holy clam and cuttlefish, I'm a mammal myself, how does that prove they are friends? How does that sentence show they're friends? If you took out the sentence that they'll never forget each other, explain how that lets you know that their friendship is changing and how they're friends. And then you need to write a topic statement. Remember, a topic statement tells the reader what the paragraph is about. It's often the first sentence in the paragraph. A topic statement contains the main idea of the paragraph. A topic statement should state one main topic and include important ideas. And a topic statement should work with small groups. Forget that. Okay, so an example for a topic statement for this prompt: how does the friendship between Amos and Boris change in the story? I could write, a friendship between Amos and Boris changes during William Steig's story, Amos and Boris. My evidence should be supporting how it's changing. How is it changing? Then I also assigned your land. Remember, your land says, what do the word choices and images on page 22 and 23 in Amos and Boris suggest about the sea? Remember at the start of class, I told you your launch would help you answer that question. I'm going to go ahead and also read you an exemplar response. Page 22 and 23 in Amos and Boris suggest that the sea looks dangerous. In the text, it says, there occurred one of the worst storms of the century, Hurricane Yetta, and it just so happened that Boris the Well was flung ashore by a tidal wave. These words show that the sea can be dangerous because I know hurricanes can be very dangerous. I also know that wells need to be in water to survive. So that is very dangerous that the sea flung Boris to shore. In the picture, I see the waves crashing on Boris, and Boris looks very scared. This shows the sea can be very dangerous. In conclusion, the word choices and images on page 22 and 23 in Amos and Boris suggest the sea can be dangerous. Once you're finished with your land, I want you to practice this craft framing question. Why is reading with expression important? What you're going to do is you are going to fluently read this paragraph on page 9 with expression. So I'm going to model once without expression and then again with expression. One night in a phosphorescent sea, he marveled at the sight of some wells spouting luminous water, and later lying on the deck of his boat, gazing at the immense starry sky, the tiny mouse Amos, a little speck of a living thing in the vast living universe, felt thoroughly akin to it all. Overwhelmed by the beauty and mystery of everything, he rolled over and over and right off the deck of his boat and into the sea. In that reading, I was not reading fluently. This time, I'm going to read fluently. Listen for how I articulate each word clearly. I emphasize key words. I phrase the text into syntactically appropriate chunks or phrases. I use dramatic pauses. I'm going to raise and lower my voice as appropriate, and I'll speed up and slow down as appropriate. So now this time, listen as I read with expression. One night in a phosphorescent sea, he marveled at the sight of some wells spouting luminous water, and later, lying on the deck of his boat, gazing at the immense starry sky, the tiny mouse Amos, a little speck of a living thing in the vast living universe, felt thoroughly akin to it all. Overwhelmed by the beauty and mystery of everything, he rolled over and over and right off the deck of his boat and into the sea. What was different about the two readings? The first reading kind of sounded boring, as though a robot was reading the passage. The second reading was more fun to listen, and my voice helped me understand the feelings in the story. What does it mean to read with expression? Reading with expression means reading so that you don't sound like a robot. Reading with expression means adding feeling to your voice when reading parts of the story that are exciting, sad, or have some emotion. All right, that's it for lesson 6. If you have any questions about this assignment or what you missed or what you're supposed to do and finish, remember you can always call me, text me, or send me an email.